quite instrumental and not at all minor.
Yeah.
My Lords, I am completely opposed to Amendments 159 and 160, but Lord Fawkes, Lord Black and Viscount Colville have explained perfectly what, and I'm fully in agreement with what they said. And I spoke at length at committee on that very topic. And this is a debate we undoubtedly will come back to on the media bill. I, for one, am extremely disappointed that the Labour Party have said that they won't appeal Section 40. I'm sure that these issues will get an airing elsewhere. But as this is a speech-limiting piece of legislation, as was admitted earlier this week, I don't want any more speech limiting. I certainly don't want it to be a media freedom limiting legislation on top of that. But I actually want to talk about the other amendments mainly, 168 and 161, but approaching it from a completely different angle to Lord Allen of Hallam. I wanted to ask the Minister, what is the thinking behind saying that the only people who can clip content from recognised news publishers are the news publishers? Minister, you mentioned, the Minister mentioned in passing that there might be a problem of editing them, but it has become common practice these days for members of the public to clip from things, to clip from recognised news publishers and make comments. Is that going to not be allowed? That was the bit that completely confused me. I thought it was too prescriptive, because I can just see all sorts of people getting caught by that. But the points that Lord Allen of Hallam made about who constitutes this recognised news publisher is where the issue is going to really get quite difficult, I think. Largely, not because, I mean, I'm less worried about the point was made about the wrong organisations. I want to know who decides who's right and wrong. InfoWars is one that we might all nod along to, and RT, but there are lots of organisations that would, in fact, potentially fail that test. And my concern is that they can't appeal when they are legitimate news organisations, even if not to everybody's taste. And because I think that we already have too much speech limiting in this bill, I don't want any more. I think this is important because actually when we talk about wrong organisations, I noticed that the Noble Lord McNally was referring to people who went to Rupert Murdoch's parties. Now I just want to declare my interest here. I've never been invited or been to a Rupert Murdoch party, although do feel free if you're watching. I've read about them in newspapers, as it were. But it's just that for some people in this chamber, the wrong kind of news organisations are, in fact, for example, the Times, or the wrong kind of owners. So the idea that we all will agree or know who the wrong kind of news publishers will be, I think is not clear, and I don't think that the test is going to sort it out. So will the Minister explain what you can do if you fail the recognised news publisher test, to appeal and say we are legitimate, we should be allowed, and why there's this idea that you can't, as a member of the public, click a recognised news publisher's content without falling foul and not be given some exemption. I just didn't genuinely understand that.
My Lords, I should just